President Joe Biden left Washington, D.C., he was leaving behind a DEI secret involving American farmers and $800 million in taxpayer money. And a United States Department of Agriculture whistleblower is now sounding the alarm.
It was to pay off anyone who wasn't a white male's loan. That was the only qualification for this loan forgiveness.
And what was the reaction?
So it was really silent. They were trying to keep this hushed because of the obvious implications of race-based loan forgiveness.
Race-based loan forgiveness. It's in black and white, buried in the American Rescue Plan Act. The United States Secretary of Agriculture shall provide a payment in an amount up to 120% of the outstanding indebtedness of each socially disadvantaged farmer or rancher.
Up to 20% of the loan value? Does that mean that that they could actually send you a check? They would get their loan forgiven, but over the amount. So they would actually get a check back. Is that what that means? They pack all this meaning into what you look like on the outside. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Quisha King Show. I am your host, Quisha King Benton, and we're talking today about a whistleblower who has exposed the Department of Agriculture and their racist initiatives. Take a look.
Racism with more racism. I couldn't believe that it was happening in today's age.
James Dunlap owns a small family farm in Baker City, Oregon. He works 2 other jobs to keep his farm afloat, but did not qualify for the loan forgiveness because he's white.
I knew what they were saying was that minority farmers were going to have their loans forgiven for no reason other than.
That is so crazy. This is just as crazy as the BBBE, whatever they doing in South Africa, and the expropriation. You know, they just come in and take in your farm because you are white. This is not equality. But you know what? They told us that they didn't want equality. They told us that.
And they decided to, they being the government. So.
And how much money they had nothing to do with it.
As far as I understand, not at all. It wasn't about hardship. It wasn't about financial situations at all. It was purely what box you checked under that ethnicity line on your application.
If you checked a non-white box, you got the free money, no matter how rich you were. James and other white farmers sued the Biden administration and were successful. The loan forgiveness for any farmer who's not white was stopped. The judge writing in his decision, it was an actual constitutional harm that cannot be undone. And James and other white farmers will suffer the harm of being excluded from eligibility for that debt relief program solely on the basis of his race. That harm he has shown is irreparable. But this is where things get it.
So I want to know, where was the constitutional crisis? Why wasn't everybody running around here saying that there was a constitutional crisis, especially when it came to the Civil Rights Act, especially when it came to inequality on race? The Democrats love to run around here and act like they care about people and, you know, those that are disadvantaged. But they have deemed skin color to validate your life. That's how they determine what you're about, how much money you make. Are you smart? Are you rich? Are you poor? Are you good? Are you bad? It's all based on skin color. If you're white, you are rich. You're a bad person, but you're rich. And you have had no setbacks in life. Everything you've ever wanted was given to you. You've never had to struggle. You've never had to work hard. You don't know what it's like to be denied a loan. You don't know what it's like to be judged and misjudged and looked at funny. And you don't know, you have no idea of what it's like to have any type of hardship. You have none. And if you're Black, or a person of color, if you have higher levels of melanin, this is their criteria, okay? This is their schema. This is their matrix, okay, of how they determine who is what. If you're black, you are poor, but you're only poor because white people are rich. You're all of you are good. You don't lie, you don't cheat, you don't steal, you don't resist arrest, you don't rob, you don't commit crime. You deserve all the breaks in the world because white people exist. That's basically how they deem everybody. And therefore, since you are black or a minority, you can get your loan approved 120%. But here's the thing also, this doesn't just hurt the white folks that did it. I mean, y'all, they probably didn't want them. I mean, y'all know you really don't want to be tied up with the government anyway, because it's not really a deal. It's not really a benefit to be in cahoots with the government in any kind of way. As much as you can, as much as possible that you can. But it hurts the black folks as well because they were probably making plans to, have their loan forgiven. They bought into this lie that, oh, I can just get my loan forgiven because I'm black. Maybe they didn't even know that it was, who knows. But now they have to readjust because they were told that they were going to get 120% up to their loan value. So this is bad for everybody. Nobody wins.
Interesting. The Biden administration was not ready to give up. They passed the Inflation Reduction Act to help farmers who couldn't pay their loans. It was supposed to help all farmers, but News Nation has learned all farmers were not told about it. News Nation obtaining a copy of this email that was sent out to share information about new payments and or loan modifications that may assist you. But here's the catch. Our whistleblower says it was only sent to the minority farmers, aka the socially disadvantaged group. And he says USDA workers were even instructed to tell that group to stop paying their loans because they would still be forgiven. The whistleblower says none of the white farmers he works with received the email.
They got nothing. It might not meet the legal definition of fraud, but it isn't right. It was discriminatory, it was unethical, and the people who pushed it are still in charge of the agency.
Whoa.
Still in charge.
Yes, at our national office, they're still. Trump hasn't got rid of them.
We reached out to the United States Department of Agriculture. They did not respond to our specific questions or our questions about what the whistleblower said, that some of these DEI policies still remain in effect and in some of the documentation. But they did send us this statement, Elizabeth. I want to read you in part. It says, it is absurd that while the Biden administration was driving up inflation, American taxpayers were forced to fund billions in woke DEI initiatives. No one should be shocked that Biden weaponized bipartisan farm programs to discriminate and provide taxpayer dollars to one group based on race and not on merit. On day one, Secretary Rollins issued a memo to rescind all DEI programs. Instead, USDA is reprioritizing unity, equality, meritocracy, and colorblind policies. And the USDA says they are also reviewing the Inflation Reduction Act funding to ensure that that money is now going out to all farmers equally instead of just one specific group.
The left has told us over and over and over and over and over again that they want equity, that they want to fundamentally transform all the institutions. And what that means is taking one group of people, those that they deem marginalized, disenfranchised, whatever, solely based on what you look like. If you look a certain way, then you get certain things. They don't look past that. This is a very surface level group that we're dealing with. They pack all this meaning into what you look like on the outside. That's it. They're not looking at income. The only thing that matters is what you look like. These are very superficial, surface level people. So if you match what they have deemed is a worthy look, the look of the person that they have said, you're good, you're good with us, then you get these opportunities. Then you get to participate in these programs. But they have told us time and time again that this is what they want. That is what equity is. They say that if someone doesn't have what you have, then they have been disadvantaged by you if you're white. So they're going to give them whatever. They're just going to give them stuff to quote unquote level the playing field. And so they will take from you, they will rob and give it to those quote unquote less unfortunate. But this is not how we can maintain a successful society. You have to earn what you get. If you don't, you won't appreciate what you got, and you will not be able to keep what you got. And it will diminish the drive that God has placed in you to be ambitious to go and produce. So again, it is a negative for everybody. You don't want these type of policies. We should get rid of them across the board. And let me just make one more point. This infiltration of these communist ideas, because that's what they are, this idea of that everybody should be on the same thing, that is a direct Marxist idea. Karl Marx said, from each according to their what is it? From each according to their ability, to each according to their need. So I'm going to take from those who are able and give to those who are in need. What they deem in need. That is very relative. Okay. And they're the ones deciding. This is not just in politics, in the Department of Agriculture. This is in education. This is in the church. This is in media, entertainment. It is in every single major cultural institution. We have to resist this. Push back, sue them, do whatever you have to do so we can maintain our society. Those are my thoughts on this situation, this crazy situation. Let me know what do you think about what I think in the comment section below. I look forward to reading what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye bye.